Welcome to you all. We completed 2 chapters up to now, and we are starting with the third chapter with 4th session. So we have up to now we have completed 3 sessions, right? So the third chapter is digitalization of business and commerce, right? So we'll talk about that. In digital business, so nowadays that is the digital word came into industry. So in old days there were traditional business. So you can imagine that how the current industry is going with digital. But in traditional mechanisms, in old days, most of the things went through manual processes. So now everything has updated into digital. So nowadays that nothing can be implemented without digital. So let's talk about the comparison between traditional business and digital businesses. So the first one is communication. So if we talk about communication in digital business, so we communicate through digital. As an example, via emails, through the webs, SMSs. How do we communicate through the webs? It is like this, that you have to publish your details in the website. So after publishing the details, that can be viewable to the customers, and then through the SMS, and also there are so many other ways of communication through digitally. So especially email is the good mechanism that most of the people are using for communications, rather than calling to somebody, but they are using email mechanism. So in traditional business in old days, they were using hybrid methods. There's a combination of paper and digital. When they want to send some documents, what it was done is they send through post, or by email also they send, but it means that when posting it took a long time. And nowadays also most of the courier services and also some other the posting companies, and also in the government also, they have involved in delivering these items through post. So that is called communication. So then the second attribute is tools. So digital, there can be web tools. All their tools are integrated. In old days, the legacy systems are there that acquired over the course of company's history. It means in old days the tools and whatever the resources they have was acquired during the period that they were establishing. So in the current world, that in the digital business, so the tools that are using are integrated to each other. Let's say that can be a computer, or that can be some other connectivity, or so all those things integrated. It means connected to each other. So when it comes to processors, all the processors are automated now. In early days it was manual. What is automation is through the web-based tools, some processes, let's say procurement process, so it also automated. And also let's say manufacturing process in the company also, that can be automated. And there are so many ways of automation can be implemented within the organizations. There can be so many processes involved in the organization, in the HRO, in the marketing, finance, and so many other ways. So all those things are automated at present. And in old days, the manual this system was there, and there was so many shortcomings. So if somebody is absent, so it was a huge task to recover those pending things. So when it comes to the attribute of culture, in digital business, the most of the companies are small and younger. Why it is that? And in old days, it was about more than 5 years has been taken to establish as a good company, and it was taken a long time, and there are so many experienced managers, and they know how to do things. Likewise, it means in the digital, in the traditional business, but in the digital business, once the company is established, sometimes it can be enhanced into a very good level within 1 year or less than that, because the systems are integrated and the new technology is used. So it is easy to do all these things through the web. So not like old days. In old days, in order to establish as a good company, so they have to survive in the industry more than 5 years, 10 years. Sometimes they have survived in the industry more than 20 years, 30 years. Thereafter, they establish as a good company. And experience. In digital business, it's fearless. In traditional business, years of experience. In traditional business, they are very knowledgeable. They have very good experience throughout the 10 years, 20 years, like that. But in digital business, they have no fear to enter into the market. They do those things in trial and error basis. It means they test something, they put something into the market, they test it. If it is failing, they do put another product. So the launching of products is very easy in the digital business, not like in traditional business. So in digital business, they are not fear to enter into the market and launch any product, or whatever the business activities they have to do, they do it without any fear. So that's the main the idea behind that. And in the question paper, sometimes they will ask following are the features of digital business, and then you have to select. Then they will give you 4 answers. Likewise, so these key activities, the key attributes. So you have to see the differentiation. Sometimes they will ask the activity like manual processing. So that is a key factor in digital business. So it is wrong. So likewise, such kind of questions can be asked through this one. Benefit of digital business. So what are the benefit? In digital business, as I explained earlier, the comparison given versus the traditional business and the digital business. So there were so many advantages you have identified already, and the benefit that the digital business has can be elaborated like this. And 24/7 availability in operations. In normal operation in traditional business, the office will be open. In nowadays also, the office will be open at let's say 8:30 and will be closing at 5 or 5:30. So after that, there are no any connectivity with the customer. So in the digital business, there are no any closing time and off time, starting time and closing time. So the product is available 24 basis. So anywhere, anytime that they can access. And digital presence, it means the presence. It means normally some organization, let's say not the digital organization, normally corporate organization, they are physically present. So customer has to go to the place and buy some product. But in the digital business, it is available online. So it is digitally present. So you don't need to go there, and you have to you can buy the products through the web. So the presence is there, The availability is there in digital mode. New contact channels with customers. So, in a normal business, the contact, so how do we contact the customer? They have to email, or there are some other mechanism, posting and letter sending and so many other things. But in the digital business, the contact channels, though, that can be through the social media and also SMS campaign, or there are so many other ways to contact the customers. Through the websites, we can allow customers to enter their details and request for any clarifications. Then we can answer for those clarifications. Likewise, the contact is established for customers to channel with the website or with the business. The customers at the heart of the universe. It means even though the company is located in Australia or America or wherever the place, there is no any matter. So you can buy the product. So that will be delivered to your doorstep. And also, if you are if the company is Sri Lanka, the people who are living in other countries also can do the business, do the transaction. So it is available in all over the world. So that's the main important things when the digital business organization come into action. They can spread. They can geographically they can spread their product all over the world. And better decision making in the digital business. Decision can be made by the customers instantly. It means they don't want to worry. They have to see the comments given by the customers, other customers, and also the products variances. And there can be so many products in the market. They can compare all the products and buy the best product. So in that way, that the better decision making can be done in the digital business. And also the business people also can collect all those decision data through the web, and because customers are linking with them, they are feeding their data. It means they are buying some products. When they are buying some product, those data will be calculated, saved, and through those data, what they do is they analyze the data and take decision based on that. It improves efficiency and productivity. So it is more experience, not like in manual procedures. And then the productivity also goes up. And let's say that if you want to buy a product, that product is located in Colombo, so you have to travel from Kandy to Colombo. So it takes about 3 hours, and there is no efficiency then. But if you can buy the product through the web, and then you can get it delivered to your doorstep without going to the place. So it is easy for you. So that's the efficiency improved in digital business, and it encourages innovations. So through the research and development and through the history they have with, in the industry, and they can do so many innovative product can be launched to the market. So it can be easily done rather than doing in manual process. It makes communication and teamwork easier. So as I said you that communication, the contact channels that can be established instantly. So can communicate with the customers, with the team, so wherever possible, in a very fast manner. So, and also teamwork is very easier. So can communicate with the business teams and also customer group and all the other groups involved in the digital business in an instant manner. Four analytical types. Analytic. So what are these four analytical types? And I couldn't explain you that in the question paper sometime they will ask one of these features whether it is the key factor of digital business. So you can memorize, you can practice these things. And four analytical types. Descriptive analytics. What it means is it search about what has happened in the past, what things went wrong, what things went in a good manner. So those details can be analysis, because those are saved in the systems, and those data can be captured by the managers, and they can evaluate it and they can see what happened in the past. Then the second one is diagnosis analysis. That is the normal manner that we can say that is root cause analysis. That will check what did this happen, why did this happen. So earlier when we said in the descriptive analysis, we search about what happened in the past. Then something has happened in the past, then we check why this happened, why it has happened. So there can be a reason why it has happened. So that is the root cause. Root cause is why it happened. So if let's say in a car, so something went wrong. So in the descriptive analysis you search, is this happened in past? So you may have experience that has happened in the past. In the diagnosis analysis, that you will check why this happened, why this car stopped. There should be a root cause. So that is called diagnosis analysis. Diagnosis is the problem, what has happened. Predictive analysis. So predictive analysis is in the simple term that we can explain, that is what will happen next. So based on the historical data which has fed into the system, and also machine learning also can be say, so we can think what will happen next. So based on the fact you have in the organization, the next future trend, so next step is what? So you can decide what is the next step. So based on the descriptive analysis data and diagnosis data, you have found out the root causes, you have identified what has happened past, then you can predict. You can predict what will happen in future. Then what is prescriptive analysis? So is it similar to predictive analysis? No. Prescriptive analysis is a predictive, predict data to the next level. Let's say a car is manufactured. So let's say it's an electric car. So through the descriptive analysis, they have the record of what has happened in the past. In the diagnosis analysis, you know what the root causes were for the problem which happened to the car, electric car. The battery was damaged, or so many other errors can be there. So you can diagnosis. Then in predictive, you predict that in next few months your battery will be finished forever. So you have to buy a new battery. So those are the issues that you have identified. Then in predictive analysis, what you do is you develop that car, the electric car, into the next level based on the data, based on the past experience, based on the root causes analysis, based on the predictive things that you have identified. So you develop the car into the next level. That will be a very good product which will be launched to the market. So I hope that you have identify about, you have understand about the four analytical types. In the question paper, sometimes they will ask the descriptive analysis is searching on what has happened in the past, why did this happen, and predict what will happen in next. and also predictive data to the next level. So, those answers can be given and likewise there can be 4 questions for each of these category of 4 analytical types. Therefore, the key word I have highlighted here, you can through that you can identify and you can memorize and what are these 4 analytical types are. Let us say sometimes in the question paper they will give a scenario like that car is manufacturer. So, during the car is operating there were so many errors that they were identified. So, it was a major problem and they have identified. So, in this scenario they have what are the 2 steps they have taken. One is what has happened descriptive analysis, second one is diagnosis. So, those 2 answers can be given. So, you have to select that one. So, when you see this slide, you have to imagine what type of question can be asked in the question paper. Drawbacks and limitation of digital business. So, what are the drawbacks? What are the limitations? So, immediate feedback. In digital business, immediate feedback, is that a drawback? Is that a limitation? So, you can ask this question from you, is it a drawback, immediate feedback? If the immediate feedback is given instantly, that is a good thing to you. But in the digital business, that can be wrong. Because why? Let us say, so you are selling a product through online mode. Let us say it was sold through the manual procedure. You go to the shop, you buy the product, you take it, and you take it, and now today you use it, but you don't feel any new things in that. And what has happened, what has explained by the dealer, the seller explained that if you use this one, you will get this benefit, so many benefits were explained, but you don't feel those benefits. But later on, after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you will see the benefit. So, let us say that feedback in the manual one, that the feedback was given later. So, then the customers identify that this is a good product, that their advantages they have received came late. And in the web, in the digital mode, so instantly, immediately, the customer can give the feedback, say this is the wrong product that I have selected, it does not give the benefit as such. So, then everything will be spread everywhere. So, the feedback given instantly will be wrong. So, immediate feedback can be wrong. Privacy. In digital, the privacy is very limited. It is open to everyone. Let us say if you buy a product, sometimes that product details what you have brought can be published in the website. So, you can give comments about the products. So, privacy of the product also not in the same manner. This is open for everyone. Security. In terms of privacy, there can be so many securities. So, sometimes there can be hackers also come into actions in the digital presence, and sometimes they can do so many damages to the people who are in the digital businesses. They can misuse the data and change the data. So, then the security IT security has to be implemented in the digital business. So, it is because it is transparency and there is no privacy. So, based on that, the security privileges has to be aligned smoothly, otherwise the digital businesses can be failed. And fake news. In the cyber security, there can be so many cyber attacks, and ultimately the cyber attack can be tarnish the image of the company. There can be so many fake news. So the news that we want to spread should be true and good news, but somebody can create fake news and put it to the website saying that don't buy anything from this company, and sometimes that can be done by a competitor. So those are the things, those are the fake news can be spread in digital business. In the question paper, if they ask that what are the limitations of digital business, you can explain these things, and let's say the brand image, what limitation will affect to the brand image, that is fake news. So they will give the answers, all these 4 answers, so you have to select the best one. And also in the other 4 answers also categorize into one and give 1 questions. So you can study this thing, memorize the key involvement in this limitations. Technological development. So in the digital business, there were so many technological development in all, from all ages to this time. So let's talk about data mining and enhance customer analytics. You have seen that we have explained to you about the big data things also. So how does this happening? And big data can be used for deep customer analysis, providing the information that can be used to gain knowledge and insight in behavior pattern, like and dislike. Through the data minings, so they can analyze the data, and that give the good product to the customers through the data mining. So and the target advertising. In target advertising, organization can target individuals. In the digital business, they don't need to exist in physically. Through the digital modes, that can be targeted. And there are so many ways of marketing through digital, and target market also can be identified instantly. And there is another technological development, cryptocurrency. So that also was explained in details in some slides. Digital currencies are like you cannot touch that currency. In the blockchain technology, the digital currency is using. As an example, Bitcoin is a very good digital currency example. And connectivity and IoT security. So in the technology, the connectivity is highly used, and in our Internet of things, that will be explained in the next slide in details. Then you can identify about what is Internet of Things, IoT. And the connectivity in the sense, in the digital business, the technology used heavily for connectivity. So you are connected to the internet, you are connected to the world, you are connected to all your branches. So the connectivity is established in the digital business. So you can deliver anything, you can send anything instantly. When you send a mail or when you send any documentation or whatever, that can send instantly in the real time to the customer. And futurology is the science. So what is futurology? Depending on let's talk about this. Futurology is the science and study of sociological and technological development, value and trend with a view to planning for future. Based on the data you have, you can target your future. So, it is a science because you think about your future. As an individual, you may be thinking about your future, what you will be doing in future. So, what are your targets? So, you have some idea, you have some aspirations. So, likewise in the industry also, it is a science. So, they think what will happen in the future. And meta technology. What is this meta technologies? From the example that I can say that there can be eye surgeries, industrial cutting, reading data from DVDs, that in light lab and some other places there are laser technologies using. So, that laser technology, the mechanism, the technology behind the laser technology is meta technology. So, in today's world, for surgery operations, most of the hospitals in I do not know exactly whether it is available in Sri Lanka or not. In foreign countries, especially this eye surgery can be done through meta technology, through the laser beams that can, through that the eye surgery can be done, and also industrial cutting also the laser technology is used, and reading from DVDs, and some lights can be shown to the customers in the night lab also. So, through the laser technology. So, in that laser technology, the meta technology is the mechanism used. So, this can be asked in the questions, what is the technology behind laser? So, that is meta technology. So, they can give some as an example, in the eye surgery the laser technology is used. So, what is the real technology involved in the laser? So, that is meta technology. So, likewise you will have to answer accordingly. So, you can imagine what type of question will be coming. Internet of Things. What is Internet of Things? So, in here that I talk about connectivity, and there is a Internet of Things. So, it is better you to understand about Internet of Things, then you can get a broad idea about what is going on in the industry. What is Internet of Things? A network of internet connected object able to collect and exchange data. It is commonly abbreviated as IoT. In a simple way, put it, you have things that sense and collect data and send it to the internet. So, there are two words, that is internet and things. What are these things? What are this internet? Internet, you know, it is available. You have browsed the internet, so it is available. What is things? That are the devices. In today, in early days, the devices are connected to the internet in a very minor manner. So, nowadays trillion of devices connected to the internet. Now, everybody is using those devices. So, all are connected. From the next slide, I think you can get a very good idea about how does the IoT development, IoT technology happening in the industry. Let us say Let us say in your home, you have lights, right. So, these lights are switching on, and you have CCTV, and you have a fridge, refrigerator, and also you have AC, right, and these are working through the current that it is given to these devices. Let us say this AC that run through current and voltage is given. So, that will be operation from 8 to 5, but when you go to your office, you do not need AC. So, you will be needing the AC from let us say 6 to 6 more AM, 6 PM to 6 AM. So, then you forgot to switch off the AC, and you forgot to switch off the lights, and CCTV camera is there, you do not need to worry about that, and refrigerator is always working. And when you go to the office, so you remember that you did not switch off the AC, you did not switch off the lights. And how do you switch off the AC and lights? Through the IoT. So, this is a device. So, we can connect this device to a gadget. We can say it as there are so many gadgets like Synoff is a very good example. Through this one it is connected, right. So, this is connected to what is called internet, right. So, you are here. So, through a app, so you are here through a application which is say installed in your mobile phone. So, through the mobile phone you connect through the internet to the devices. So, connectivity device given is Synoff. In the YouTube also, if you search this Synoff device that detail about more facilities that has given to connecting the devices. So, you can switch off the AC from the mobile phone. Likewise, you can switch off these lights also. Likewise, so you can get a good example. These are the devices. What are these? Devices that is connected to the internet. So, that is connected to the internet. So, in IoT there are two things, what that one is device and connected. So, device connected to the internet, you are operating these devices through the internet. So, that is the mechanism called IoT. So, in CCTV through internet you are connecting through app, you can see what is happening inside the house, and those things can be recorded. So, recorded videos also you can see through the internet. Then the refrigerator, this is a new technology that in the video that I am going to show you, that will explain about how the refrigerator works in the IoT. And let us say that refrigerator has some foods 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have vegetables, you have meat and so many things. And when this quantity, the quantity meat and vegetables, when those quantity finish in, that can give an information, right, through internet to you. The message you get is you have to buy meats, 20% meats are available, so you have to buy it. So, you have to buy drinks, it is 10% available. So, this refrigerator, this high-end refrigerator, that will decide, that will check what are the availabilities. So, that give information through the internet to you. So, in the application you will receive a message, these are the availability, it is better you to buy. So, in the break even comes, when it comes to the break even level of the reorder level, so that give a message, through that you can buy. So, you do not have to worry about that. So, all the information will be given to you. So, this is the technology called about IoT. So, I think that about IoT you got a very good idea. In here I have given some example. This is the AC. This AC is connected through a CNOF. The CNOF is a device. Through this CNOF device is a wireless device. Through the wireless that it is wired to this one, right? It is wired. So, AC is wired, and in this wireless connectivity, this will be working as a hotspot. Through this one, this will be connected to the internet, then through the internet that will be connected to your mobile app. Through the mobile app you can control the device. So, in the normal mechanism used in the this device is like this is the gadget, it gives the power, this is the bulb. So, bulb can be switched off through this one. So, normally in IoT that as examples I have given, the IoT can benefit farmers in the agriculture by making their job easier. How does this happen? Sensors can collect data on rainfalls. When rainfalls are, that collect data, humidity will be collected, and through the sensors, and temperature and soil content and everything will be collected, and through that they will analyze the data, and that data will be given to the result will be given to the farmers. Then farmers will decide whether we should put water to the plants or what things to be done within this period. And so, likewise, that automated transportation, smart energy management system, water distribution, urban security, smart cities. So, normally in today's environment, you have heard these things, smart cities. So, cities will be developed through IoT technology, and also smart homes. So, through this video I think that you can get a very good idea. I run this one, and then you can get a very good idea about how the IoT is working in the industry. What? crash, so you give the message. Then when the car started, automatically the garage will be open, the gate will be open. Then door is not closed now, so that give a message to this child that door is closed. There is closing the door. Emergency saving mode is on because they went to the office. So dad came to work. Now the lights are switching on automatically, computer is switching on automatically. The person is entered to the room. So schedule is given. When they are driving, the speed limit will be detected. It is shown now. Sun and oncoming cars, so give a reminder. So it give a reminder to order some food. Visitor came, is a referral person. So that give a message to the person who is in the office. He accepted. Wi-Fi access is granted. Through the sensors, they identify everything. So in the fits, but out of stock, rice is out of stock. It give a message to the mother that when we know this, what should be brought from the supermarket. So I think that you have taken a very good idea about what is IoT and how it works in the environment, in the industry. So chapter 3 is completed. Let's go to the chapter 4. Role of information system in business. Information strategy. This was explained in some other slides also in the previous chapter, but I will brief that one. Provide a long-term direction for development of information system throughout the organization. That is information system strategy. What is IT? What is IM? IM is information management that control the management of the organization through information tech. So, these so you can get a very good idea the main differences, main correlations between these three strategies. The information strategy, those are the systems that used by the organization. So, in order to use those systems, in order to run those systems, they need some resources. So, IT resources is given, hardware and software, those facilities are given, and those facilities are given to the information system. Now it is running, and not only that, through the control they have to manage this information system. So, these IM and IT, the information technology and information management will support in this information system. IT and IM is supporting to IS. So, from this idea you can get a clear cut view, that is information system, that has the information system, so many HR system, supply chain management system, ERP, and so many system can be there. In order to run those system, it has to be facilitated by IT. Those are the hardware and software is given, the PC is given, the word processing and all the other softwares are installed, that is network, and network to the network that can be connected to the information systems that is stored in the computers can be connected to the database as well. So, in order to manage this one, there are some people that they are controlling the information, are controlled by this information management strategy. So, I think that this is the key element in information strategy. So, in the question paper, sometimes they will ask information strategy is supporting to IT and IM. That is wrong. IT and IM is supporting to information strategy. So, they can give a scenario basis questions. They will give an example in the industry, in a organization. This is how it is happening. Based on that, you have to select what's the strategy they have used, what information strategy, whether it is IS, whether it is IT or IM. Characteristic of IT and IS strategy. Here we don't talk about IM strategy, IS and IT. That has high cost, because why? You have to spend lot of money for the resources in order to purchase information strategy, information system also. So, you have to pay, and also for hardware and software you have to pay money. Critical to the success of many organizations. This is the most critical factor to be success in many organizations. Without IT and IS, nowadays no any company cannot survive without these two strategies. So, let us say when you go to office, if there is a power cut, can you work without IT now? No, you must need the computer. In some other job roles that is not required, but most of the companies which is running their business in as an example in Colombo or some other areas, so they need IT. Without that they cannot run. So, it is a critical factor, and that success based on this IT and IS. If there is no IT and IS, the organization will fail. The next one I use as part of the commercial strategy in the battle for competitive advantage. In order to gain the competitive advantages within the competitive market, there are so many competitors. So, they are using different IS and IT. So, new systems are using, new technologies are using. Based on that, they are competing in the market. So, new innovations are given. So, in order to compete in the markets, IT and IS is main requirement. Impact on customer service. to provide the better customer service that can be available in 24-hour basis per day. So, and all the days that will be open. So, can give a very good customer service. So, it impact the customer. So, without IT, the customers are not connected to the company. So, there is a greater impact which provide for customer service. Affect all level of staff in an organization. So, as I said you that if there is a power cut, that will happen to everybody. So, they cannot work without IT. So, if the information strategy is failing, information system are failing, so there are different level of people in the organization, in the HR, marketing and finance and there are so many department, so and also branches in a group. So, they cannot work without IS and IT. So, that mainly affect to the all level of staff in the organization. Lead to structural changes within an organization. When the organization is implementing a very good IS strategy, information system strategy, they need IT hardware and software also. So, sometimes the organization structure also can be changed based on the IS strategy. It means that the reporting hierarchy to be improved and change based on this IS strategy. So, this let us say that the organization is going to implement a new ERP, enterprise resource planning software, the package. So, through that they are going to operate all the function in the organization. In that scenario, sometimes the organization has to decide to change their structure. Sometimes the physical appearance also has to be improved, has to be changed, and also the structural level changes has to be done when they are implementing a good IS strategy. Requires effective management to obtain the maximum benefit. In order to get the maximum benefit, the management requires the top level management support. So, effective management is required to obtain the maximum benefit of the information IS strategy. Let us say where there is a very good, very sophisticated software is installed in the company, but the people who are managing that is not doing is they are idling, they are doing the manual process, they are not working with the systems. So, the requirement has to be identified by the people who are working in the organization, and then they have to plan and manage the systems. So, then get the maximum benefit. Involve many stakeholders inside and outside the organization. So, that connect, that involve with the stakeholders, that can be in Sri Lanka, that can be members, that can be student and so many suppliers. So, they have to be connected with the organization. That can be inside and also can be outside. Inside people also there, outside people also there. So, everybody has to be connected, involved with the organization through IT and IS. So, those are the main characteristics of IT and IS strategy. So, let us say that they will give some 2 or 3 example saying that these characteristics are relevant to IT and IS strategy. So, sometimes they will give some other characteristics, some other strategies. So, you have to identify those things. Failure of a very large IT investment might have a negative strategic impact on the organization concerned, possibly even leading to business failure. Business failures, business can be failed. Why? In the very large organization also in the small organization, the business that they are running can be failed due to IT. Fail of very large IT investment. So, especially some of the organizations, they invest more for IT. They know that in return that they will get some more benefit. So, that is the idea behind. So, and why it is failing? One thing is poor communication. Enterprises project usually impact a large amount of people. So, if you are implementing a very good ERP system or the IT whatever the IT system in your organization, that has to be communicated to all of the stakeholders. The stakeholders can be employees, can be some other customers and some other parties. So, the communication has to be done throughout the organization and also for outsiders about the platform that we are using. Without poor communication, the system that they have implemented can be failed. Underestimating or ignoring impact of change. So, when there is a new system is implemented, there can be a change. So, the impact of change, because of change, there can be so many other issues will be happening. Let us say the change can be sometimes before implementing IT strategy or IT investment. So, the organization hierarchy was not was there, then it was changed. Sometimes the one person has to communicate with someone, so now he has to communicate with some other. So, but there is a hierarchical change, and when they are communicating with each other, it is not possible to communicate. So, there can be changes. Because of changes the business can be failed. Lack of leadership. In order to run a very good system, so we have purchased a very good system, now we want to implement it. So, if the top management or the management, if they are not supporting, if they are not leading the investment, the information strategy or information systems, so that can be failed, because there should be proper direction from the top management. If the top management is saying, okay, you don't need to use the system, you can do it manually, then the people who are working under them, they will not be using the systems. So, there should be a very good leadership from the top. Lack of strong executive sponsorship. It means the top management has to be sponsored. That is the executive sponsorship. And also poor project management. So, project management is the main concern in implementing this new large IT investment. So, without project management, the system that is implemented cannot be success. So, then the poor planning. In project management, there will be very good planning. So, when let us say that in the system that we have implement can be done initially as the first step, then there can be about 5 steps. The first step is initially we install that, then we explain it to the people, then we train them, and thereafter we do some transaction with them, ad hoc transaction, we test it. Then thereafter, after about 6 months, when the employees are satisfied, we implement it. So, that is project management. In the project management, they are planning how to implement. So, the planning techniques is involved in the project management. So, better planning, if you plan the system implementation well, so that can be success. So, otherwise let us say that you are implementing a system, you install the system and you tell the users to use it, but can they use? No. So, they will be disqualified to use the system because they are not trained. Trying to do it cheap, this is a good thing, because some organization go for cheap product. Sometimes they have money, but they go for cheap product. They don't consider the value gain from the system. So, let us say there are five different IT systems. So, 5 different IT system can be given so many different advantages. So we have to select the best one. So if you have selected the best one, so you don't have to worry that can be run in the IT. But when they are evaluating the systems, the proposal which came to the organization, they go for cheaper products first and see how it is happening. But it should not be the way. So we have to select the advantages which is had to be quantified and measured whether it is relevant to the organization. So then you can identify the best product without going for cheaper products. Lack of technical knowledge. So if the technical knowledge is not available in the organization, if the users are not expert in using the systems, if they are not trained, so they don't have knowledge to use the system, and technical knowledge has to be given. And also within the organization, the people who are working in the IT department, they have to be expert in the system. So they should know about each and every step in the system. So that is where IT investments are failing. So there is a huge investment, they implement it, but ultimately it will be failing because of this. So in the question paper also, this question will be given, failure of a very large IT system, why it is failing. So there can be some answers given, you have to select those answers. So ITIS is very important to an organization because why? Here we talk about why it is failing. Here we are talking about what is the important? A supportive activity. It supports the organization to run their business. A key operational activity. So IT and IS is a very key operational activity within the organization. So they have to use this key activity to support their services, the business processes. Potentially very important. It is a very important aspect in the organization. It is very important. Without that, you cannot run. A strategic activity. Without IT, the firm could not function at all. As an example, Amazon in eBay, can it be run without IT and assist? No. The key involvement is IT. Source of competitive advantages. So the important is through the IS and IT that give a very good advantage, competitive advantage, a source of competitive advantage. Through this competitive advantage, they can win the market. So through the new technologies which is given to the products, so through the new technologies, they can implement those new technologies to the market as product. Then that will be purchased by the people. So the customers will be comparing your product and others' products. E-business. Actually, this e-business one, this will be described in a separate chapter, but I will be explaining this one in brief. What is e-business and what is e-commerce? E-business is the use of electronic technologies to support and transform business processes. Why we need e-business? It is to support and transport business processes. In the organization, there can be so many business processes. So the e-business support that business processes. So what is the e-commerce is? Use of electronic technologies using internet. It means to buy and sell product and services. There are two differentiation you can identify. That is main two. That is e-commerce that involves finance aspect. That is buy and sell product. In the e-business, that is supporting and transform business processes. But all these two things use what? Same thing, internet. We choose the internet. So I think that through this main highlight points, you can identify about the main differences. So we will go for what are the differences of e-commerce and e-business. running business in the e-business, running business using internet is termed as e-business. So, in e-business is running businesses using internet, use of internet, using internet, they are running businesses. So, in every organization today's world that they are running businesses through internet. When they want to sell product, they use the internet. And trading mechanism over internet is termed as e-commerce. So, how do we trade? How do we sell the product? So, you have in the e-business, you have some product. So, you use internet to market the product and everything will be done through internet. And in the internet, the transaction, the payment transaction will be given, that is e-commerce. E-business is the broader concept and it is supported of e-commerce. So, e-business is supported by e-commerce. In the question paper also sometimes they will ask, e-commerce is supported by e-business. Is it true? No. E-business is supported by e-commerce. So, e-commerce is the part of e-business. So, in e-business, this e-commerce is a part. So, it means in the business, the electronic transaction, the payment things, buying and selling, that has to be involved. So, e-commerce is involved in the e-business. Business transactions are carried out. This commercial transactions are carried out. In here, the business transactions are concerned. In commercial transactions, in the buying and selling products. So, when you want to buy product, you have to go through the payment gateways and pay for the product. Transactions are not limited. In e-business, there can be so many transactions involved. That can be that sending some goods from here to there, and also procurement and also HR. There are so many transactions. But in the e-commerce, transactions are limited, because ultimately they come to the point that buy and sell product. When they want to do that buy and sell product transaction, so that is limited when comparing with the e-business. So, main type of e-business are pure play, online only, and offline and online. So, those two can be there. So, main type of e-business are B2B e-commerce, B2B, business to business. There can be two business organizations that they deal with each other. So, business to consumer, the business organization will deal with directly with the consumer. The consumer will directly deal with the consumers. They sell the consumer will sell the product to the consumer. So, consumer sell the product to the business. So, those are the four main types of e-commerce. So, in question paper also they can ask what are the below what are the four main types of e-commerce. Then they can give they can include another wrong answer, then collate those 3 answers, 2 answers, and put the correct answer. Then you have to select the correct one. E-business is not limited to monetary transaction, but also to market and operations, customer relationship management. In the e-business, that is not concerned about monetary. In here we call about buy and sell. So, in e-commerce, the monetary transaction is concerned. So, but in e-business, monetary transaction is not concerned. So, money and without money. So, in these two keywords, you can identify the difference initially, then you can go to other differentiations. Activities of e-commerce are online store setup, payment gateways, online customer support. So, earlier we talked about payment gateways also in e-commerce. In the e-business, these are the functions, these are the activities that they have embedded to their system, their e-business. So, online customer support is there, the customers can take the support through this one. Email marketing, through the emails they can market the product. Invoicing, packaging and shipping also can be done. Supply chain management, airline ticket website also they can put the ticket. So, activities of e-commerce are buying and of mobile phone from online site. So, the online site they are going to buy a product. So, the product which is involved in the industry is business. The business has online payment gateways, e-business have online payment gateways, online store, mobile phone store is there, payment gateways is given, customer support is given. So through this e-business, the customer is going to buy. So it is e-commerce transaction, buying of mobile phone. Electronic transfer fund. So electronically, in the banking industry, that is heavily used. So bank transfer can be done through electronic mode. Online accounting software for business. So as you are accountants, as in future or now, so you are going to use these accounting softwares for business. So online accounting software can be used. So paying tax online, you can pay the tax through online mode now. So those are the e-commerce activities. So I go fast now because we don't need to spend more time on this one, because in previous next chapter slides that will be explained fully. So internet and extranet are used. We have learned about what is internet, intranet and extranet. In e-business, these three things are used. In e-commerce, only internet is used. So as a question they will ask, the intranet and extranet are used in e-commerce. So you have to identify the key factor. So e-business required website, that can be ERP, CRM, customer relationship management, application. So that require a website. So e-commerce require website and application. So app. E-business is overall strategy which involves restructuring and streamlining of business using technology. E-commerce is an important aspect of business. It's main activity of e-business. Example of e-business are auction site, classify site, e-commerce website, software and hardware. So in the e-business, these are the example. So in e-commerce, online retailers such as Amazon, Alibaba, sell digital goods such as e-books through the e-books selling mechanism. They sell the e-books. Main type of e-commerce. Here we talk about 4 things. Main type of e-commerce. So it is explained here. Business to business. So ordering some online transaction, let's say one business to other business. So wholesalers, manufacturers, distributors. So wholesalers are selling to the manufacturers are selling to the wholesalers, and wholesalers are selling to the distributors. So business to business transaction is happening in there in e-commerce. So that is called B2B. So B2C is business to consumer. The transaction conducted directly between a company and consumer. So the business is directly selling the transaction to the consumer. Let's say McDonald's, when we order the goods, the foods that will be delivered to you. So customer is directly involved with the business. The transaction is established. Now the payment is paid. The goods are delivered to their doorstep. So that is business to consumer type. So consumer to consumer. What is the consumer to consumer is? Between private individuals, the transaction can be made. So consumer can pay to the consumer. In eBay also, this mechanism is used. In the auction site also, they are using. In Amazon also, they use this one. The consumer is selling the goods to the consumer. So no need to involve with other business, other companies. Consumer to business. The consumer, he can deal with the businesses. So customer can sell their business to the products to the business. Nowadays I have heard that some of the supermarket like Key Super and Food City and some other Pico and those supermarket people, that they deal directly with the cultivators, the farmers. Then they sell directly to the supermarket people. Then it is easy way of getting products from the farmers. The farmers sell directly to the business. It means the supermarket people. So they take the product and give it to their customers. So in freelancers means freelancers here what I mentioned, who work on tasks given by the client. So there can be freelancers who mainly directly deal with the businesses. The business people will give some task. So freelancer will do that task, then they earn something. So that can be concerned as the internet businesses through the internet. So you can using the internet you can do the business with the business industry. So these things will be fully explained in some other chapters as well. So you have to understand about the key characteristics of this one. If you get the idea behind this, so it is easy for you to understand the questions given in the questions paper. E-business has an impact in many areas of the operation management. So how the e-business has given a great impact in the operation. Purchasing. In the purchasing, orders, fund transfers, supply selection, so an e-procurement, those things, the purchasing things in the operation platform will be done in e-business. So that is the main characteristic actually. So production. In production also production planning can be done, and controlling the product and scheduling, how the product has to be scheduled and what product to be marketed in next few months. In April there can be some products to be marketed, and inventory management. So how the inventory has to be managed and how the inventory can be controlled, and also quality has to be checked. So those things in the e-business can be done in operations. So marketing, sales and customer servicing. Opening new sales channels, internet sale, third party logistics, customer service, customer relationship management. In marketing, the marketing operations, it means selling some goods to the customer and provide the selling services and market the products. Those things also, the operational activities involved in marketing and sales also can be done using e-businesses. There are different ways of marketing through social media or whatever the platform that they are using. So there are so many activities can be done in e-business. So warehouse, inventory management, forecasting. In the warehousing can be automated. It means that in the operation platform, operation management, in let's say in a factory, the inventory is the main concern. Without inventory they cannot run without having a very good inventory in house, so they cannot develop their products. So ultimately the selling people cannot sell the product to the market because there is no any good warehouse. So the real time updating can be there. When the sales people are selling the product, the product sold to the market will be updated in the system automatically. That will be informed to the warehouse. So then the warehouse is planning the inventories. So what type of product to be taken into the inventory, and that has to be given to the sales people. So that linkage is there. Strategic information level. In the strategic information level, there are 3 levels: strategic planning, management control, and operational control. What are these 3 levels? The strategic planning is the top level where the senior management, the directors, they are involved with. And management control, there is a middle level management, the middle level managers and assistant managers, and they are the people who are involved. Sometimes there can be senior managers as well in this category. So they are the people who control the operation in the industry, in the organization. So this operation control is there. That operation control will be managed by this management control. So there is a hierarchical approach. Let's say it's going like this. There is an arrow key that goes to the top. So in the operation level, the information will be collected. Those collected informations will be summarized by the management, it means the managers. So, operation people are feeding the information, those information which collected from the operation control people will be saved and that will be summarized. Then the managers, what they do is, the summarized information will be prepared as report and put it to the strategic planning level. So, they will put it to the management. So, this is how the information flow goes up. Then in the other word, other way, that the from strategic planning, that from the top level to the bottom, the information is flowing. How it is flowing? The strategic planning people, so they define the objectives and they plan, and the plans are given to the normally this planning will be done by the management, it can be senior management, and then the other middle management, what they do is they take those plan instruction and do the instructions, and instruction will be given to the operation people, and those operation people will be given a target. So, they are going to achieve the target. So, this is how the information is flowing. Objectives is defined by the top management, the plans are made, the instructions are made, how to do it, then there will be target to achieve by the operation control people. So, this is how the information is going on. It is a top down approach, bottom up approach. This is the bottom up approach, this is the top down approach. So, how the information is handling in the organization can be classified into stages like this. So, there are 3 stages in other way around, here also 3 stages in management. This is the information levels, this is the management level. So, we explain in the information level how the informations are flowing and how it is categorized into levels. So, now here we explain what level of management. Strategic top management, middle level management and operation management. So, there are 3 management level which is explained here also as informations. So, in the top level management, for long term planning, they are planning for a long term, that can be 5 years, 10 years, they are planning in future this has to be done. So, based on the facts given to the top management. So, that is the strategic information, right, for making control and related decisions. So, in the middle level management, they are taking the control and related decisions. So, they are planning the future. So, they are doing some control in this middle management, taking some decisions. So, that is the tactical information. So, in operation level, for making day to day decision and short term planning, what they are deciding is, from day to day operation they decide what the product to be done and how the product has to be going on in the product line and what can be the issues. So, day to day operational issues will be in this level. So, operational informations are there. So, this is how the level goes from top to bottom, and this is how the planning goes from top to bottom, and the strategic information also classified here. So, you have a very good idea about level of management now. What are the 3 levels: top management, mid level and operation. So, take it as one example for all these two slides. So, then you can get a very good idea about that. Okay. So, I think that now we completed up to now is level of management. So, we will start the next session from the next slide, right.